Hi everyone, John here again. I've decided to come out in the middle of the day and do a video on the YN622Cs on the field. I'm sorry, I am near the motorway, so I'll stand near the camera as much as I can. So you're not going to be able to see me, but basically I've got my 5D and I'm recording with my 60D. And what I'm going to do at the minute, the sun is directly, if you look at the shadow on the floor, or the sun is basically here. So basically what I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of putting Ethan's back to the sun, I'm going to stand him, as you can see, the sun is now coming from an angle and creating, basically it's coming from directly the side of him, and I'm going to get him to turn his head and actually face back into the sun and actually use the sun as a light. But what's going to happen is it's going to have to be a quick shot, because once I get him positioned correctly, I'm going to tell him to open his eyes and I'm going to have to shoot, otherwise he's going to get blinded. But it is a really good thing that I've just started doing a bit, and you can get some great shots. Instead of always going, well, I'll turn the back to the sun, turn them away from the sun and then turn the face back into the sun. But you do have to be quick, and obviously we're going to do some more shots with the YN622Cs. So with that, I'll just leave the camera rolling and I'll go do that. You probably won't hear me. I will try speak up. Okay, Ethan. So basically the sun's here, it's directly there. So if we turn Ethan there, we've now got a big shadow running across his body. So now Ethan, close your eyes, turn your right head, turn your head, turn your head, turn your head, stop, chin down a touch, and can you fold your arms for this one? And I want you to slightly come forward, stop. Right, now when I say to you, not just yet, but when I say, I just want to 3, 2, 1. And here's your shot. Sorry about the poor audio on the video. I was next to the motorway. I was going to dub it out, but I think you can live with it for 5. And as you can see, direct sunlight hitting him in the face, but obviously instead of photographing him from his left and going down the front, I photographed him from the side basically, which enabled me to expose for the highlight on his face, and it still looks quite good. I mean, the lighting's a touch patchy, but I like it. I think it looks fantastic. It looks great in black and white. I'll just show you the colour. That says it came out of camera, and I just did a little edit on it. So yeah. So hi everyone, I'm behind the camera. I'm standing near as the camera as I can because of the noise outside. Now if you have a look, basically, if you look at Ethan, Ethan now he's got his head to the back, so the sun, you can see it on him anyway. So the sun's directly behind him, and the flash, if you have a look, is opposite him. So basically what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go stand where I'm going to shoot from. So I'm going to shoot from here, instead of shooting from here, because I don't want, the reason why I'm not going to shoot where the flash is, ideally I should be stood where the flash is, and then the sun will be directly behind him, but the sky's that bright, I'm trying to cheat. Instead, if I just move the camera, I'm going to shoot at roughly that position, because the sky is a lot darker there. So if you look, I'm going to be shooting from this position. Then it is, I'll just turn around here and it's ultra bright round there. So basically I'm going to shoot from where you've just seen me stood, and I've exposed for the sky. Now what I did to expose for the sky was I put the camera in AV. I'm ISO 50 today. I put the camera in AV and I took a picture of the sky, and it gave me 1/800 of a second at f8. But when I looked at my histogram, I then put my camera into manual and put those settings in. But when I looked at my histogram, it was way down was the sky on the exposure. So I actually went to a 400 of a second, which brightened the sky up a bit, but it'll give me more power from my flash. I'm using ETTL flash, and I've got it down 2 full stops. So now I'm going to leave the camera rolling while I just take a couple of shots. I will try speak up, but we are at the side of the motorway. Right, Ethan. So as we are now, that's it. Let's stand nice up. Stand nice up. turn your head towards the light a little bit. Towards the light. That's it. Right, okay. Chin down a touch.
And as you can see, ETTL got it wrong.
The flash has just got it wrong there. ETTL 2 stops down. The flash has got it wrong. So we'll try again.
And again, as you can see, I didn't really adjust the flash because I could only go down -2 on the compensation, but I thought maybe it was just a sporadic ETTL shot, and both shots did the same, so there you go.
So right, what's happening there is I'm actually going to take it out of ETTL. It's just not working for me. It's just firing. I'll save the shots and show you on the PC, but it's just not getting it right. So unfortunately on the 5D, I can't control it from the menus, so I'm gonna go up to the flash and manually set the power. Okay, so I'm 1/3 of a stop under half power, and if you notice when I did that then, I've already set my ambient reading for the sky, as I've just told you. I filled the frame with his face so I could really see what the flash was doing. So now that I've got my flash set and I've got my background set, I've come out of ETTL. I'm sorry, I've seen it work for lots of other people, but it don't bloody seem to work for me ever. So it's in manual now, so let's go try grab a couple of shots. Right, he's been folded around. Chin down a bit. There we go. Try relaxing, just going to Ethan, this time I want you to look up slightly. That's it. As if you look down a bit because you're squinting. Head towards me, turn your head towards me, and stop something. Oh, let's put something like this. That's it. Just going to nice deep thought. Just think about how great photography is. We all know photography is great.
And here's just a couple of those shots. That's the best one. He's looking like he's in deep thought there. That's as it came out of the camera. So, like I said, lovely highlight next to shadow. One off-camera flash, but it was in manual because ETTL didn't work for me.
So I'll leave that up there just for that. Today's lesson and what I'm doing today is just me messing around basically, and I'll talk you through the problems that I hit and the problems that I don't hit. Like I say, I would like to put the sun directly behind him and expose for the sky, but it's so bright, that's why I've had to sort of shoot on a side angle. So we'll now change position and go somewhere else. Hi everyone, so for this one, Ethan, just point behind you to the flash. So there's the flash. What I'm going to do now is the sun's quickly gone behind the cloud, so basically I've exposed for his face and I'm going to use the backlight as a rim light. I am in ETTL for this one, 2 stops down, so let's go snap a couple of shots. Bearing in mind when we take this shot, I'm going to shoot it, I'm not going to shoot it from low down, because I'll try speak up. If I shoot the shot from down here, what's going to happen is Ethan's knees are going to be the thing closest to the lens. So instead of shooting it from low, I'm going to shoot it and shoot down so that the nearest thing to the lens is Ethan's eyes. So like that, there you go, Ethan. Right, Ethan, push your body back a little bit, run back a little bit. That's it. I want you to come forward, yeah. So come up and lean forward quickly. That's it, yeah. Nice. Don't actually relax on your arms. So now I'm actually getting a Rembrandt lighting pattern on it, but I'm going to go with it. Ethan, turn your head slightly more towards me. Right, that's it. Right, that's it. That's the cut. Right, you ready? And again. That's it. I just...
And here's one of your shots. And as you can see, I cropped his knees out because, like I've said to you, what you need to do when you're taking a picture of somebody, I know a lot of photographers will just bob, duck, weave and get different angles, but as I'm now quickly starting to learn that you should go down for an angle for a reason, not just because you want to take 1,000 shots from 1,000 different angles. There's a reason why I came low down, and there's a reason why I stood up instead of shooting from low down. And like I said to you, when I was really low down, I've got a picture coming up in a minute. Let me just show you it. It's that one. Look, that one now, and I'm not fully low down, but you can clearly see the difference from being up to down. Look at, I mean, and if I would have been lower, if I'd have knelt on the floor, what a lot of photographers would do is there would have been more of his knees in the shot, and it would have looked worse. But when you look at that from low down to that, to me, there's no comparison. That is a miles better shot, because when I'm looking at him, I'm seeing this first, whereas this shot, I'm actually getting his knees first. So that's the reason why I shot it from slightly higher. I'll just show you a few of these shots. Like I say, because we use the rim light, the rim light from this now is the flash. In ETTL, it did as it were told in ETTL, ETTL, it did really well here. And then sometimes it just, I think what it was on the other shot, I was underexposing the ambient a little bit, and the flash was basically trying to light the back of the edge that you could see, which were a million miles away from Ethan, and that's why we're getting it wrong. Where here, there's more of the frame filled, so it didn't do so bad. And as you can see, shooting it from a slightly higher angle, turning him away from the sun. There wasn't hardly any sun here. You still get a little bit of raccooned eyes here, look, but that's just acceptable to me. I mean, what would have really finished that off there for me in reality would be to underexpose the ambient a stop and then come in with a flash as well, so you'd have had a flash behind him and a flash in front. But I'm just trying to show you that sometimes you don't have that choice. I went out with one flash, simple as that. I did have a reflector, but I had nobody to hold it, because I maybe could have used a touch of reflector here as well. So, but it is passable, that, to me. Them eye sockets, they've still got a bit of light in them, but they are just acceptable for me, are those. They're shooting from low down. I mean, I know Ethan's not looking too good in this one, but you can clearly see the rim light's still there. It's just not got it. It doesn't look nowhere near as good as that one or that one. Hi everyone, I'm going to leave the video now because I assume you're getting sick of the bloody awful noise. I do need to buy a wide microphone, and I will do at some point. So here's another one where I was going to use their flash, and as you can see, this is what you'd actually get out of the camera if you were to expose with nothing else, no flash, no reflector. And a lot of photographers will actually give you this. If you see hundreds of wedding pictures the same as this here, because it's so easy to do. You can put the camera in AV and just take a shot, and that's roughly what you'll get. I don't think it would be that much saturated. Let me just click. Oh yeah, out of the camera, and you can see that's near enough what you'll get out of the camera. So let's add a little bit of flash here now. So you can now see we've added a bit of flash. Let me just go before and after. I just added a bit of black and white on it just to make it a bit more dramatic, but you can clearly see the difference between no flash to flash. And you'll notice today that I didn't ask Ethan to look into the camera. Never. I never asked him to look into the camera. I wanted him to look as if he was looking, like if we go back here, the intention was on these pictures was that he'd seen something and he was looking at it. That's why I left the space on this side, so that he's looking at something basically. And then here he's looking off again, and again. It's a very common look, but it looks okay, doesn't it? It doesn't look crap. A little bit of reflector would have just been nice in there, but there you go. So let me just jump back to where we were. So there's a bit of flash, lovely highlight next to shadow going on there, a nice lot of headroom again. Again, he's looking away. This time I decided to shoot it from low down, but you can see this time he's looking down. I've shot it from low down and the angle's totally and utterly working. Let's do a before and after. There's hardly any editing, it's just a Lightroom preset. The shadows are nice and intense, but I quite like it. It's working perfectly well. I like that. I would have liked a rim light on this one, to be honest. I think a rim light would have just corked it and made it look superb. But I only had one flash on me, and it's being used here, so snooze you lose. And that happens to you sometimes when you go out. You'll only have one light, and that's the story in Ballamore. Now this one here, I'm just going to talk about this one. Basically what I did with this one, I'm using the sun as a rim light behind him, and I'm using a flash off to his right on an angle. I know the camera's hiding and disguising that, but you can see the little shadow cast off the camera on his face. Now, basically, I gave him the camera, and I had him, it was hung round his neck, and I seen these red reeds here, and I just really liked the red. That's the only reason why I pulled over to take this shot, was I like the red. Simple as that. I should have probably got rid of this green here as well and just had all red, but I could crop it. Anyway, so I gave him the camera, and then I hung it round his neck, and then I took a picture. I've deleted it though. I deleted it when I was there actually at the place, and I thought, why are you taking this picture? What's the shot saying? So I thought, right, fair enough. Him having a camera hung round his neck and taking a picture in those red like reeds there doesn't make no sense. So I thought, right then, I'll make it look as if I've caught him taking a picture, and I think it works. I don't know about you lot, but the way he's holding the camera works. Whereas I've seen a few shots where people just hang the camera around somebody's neck, like a model's neck, and you're thinking, why is that camera there? At least that now is telling a little bit of a story. The camera's there because he's using it and he's taking a picture of something. Although he ain't taking a picture of something, but it does look good. And that's using the sun as a rim and a bit of flash. All direct flash. I know I don't usually... When I use direct flash like this, I always like to use it as fill flash. So if you look at all the backgrounds, you'll notice they're not violently underexposed. Because if you underexpose it, I don't like the look that you get off the flash. So if you notice, the backgrounds are quiet. They're not as bright as him. He's the brightest and the biggest and the thing in focus, which looks good. But I wouldn't have wanted that background to go 2 stops darker, because then I wouldn't have liked the look of the flash I got. So that's why, if you notice, it's a good balance. So, and here's another one. Now, I just thought I'd remove the camera so I could show you the light that I was getting. And on this one, I did fill the frame with the reeds, so I did see the shot. It's not particularly a great picture, to be honest, but it shows what I saw when I was there. And what I saw when I was there with the lovely red plants at the back, like reeds. I saw the sun as a rim light. I used the flash off to the right hand side. I've got a gorgeous highlight next to shadow. It's just a shame the picture's a bag of crap. And these, on the way home, these red pillar boxes just caught my eyes. So I thought, right, I'm going to pull over here. Again, off-camera flash to Lightroom, to his right, our left. Lovely highlight next to shadow. Using the sun as a rim light on him again. So basically, I was trying to get 2 lights, and I did. And I've done this loads of times before, and you'll have seen it on a few other videos, but I just wanted to show you again, because I was bored. And plus some people will really get some kick out of it. So again, you can nicely see the flash off to the side, the lovely highlight next to shadow. Came out of camera like this. You know me, I'm not a big editor. I like to capture it out of camera. This one, I quite like this one. This was really coming in close, using half of the pillar box, and that's actually as it came out of camera. I think just a bit of contrast. That's the framing. I wanted him to look out of the frame and off put him to one side. I quite like this shot. Again, using the sun. Look, on every one of them, apart from these few here, this is now flash as rim light, flash as rim light, flash, 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 flash. And then on every other picture, I so wished I'd have used a rim light on that, and I would have loved that picture. It's quite cool. And all the rest is using the sun. So you can get the same result out of the sun. All you've got to do is position your subject properly. I mean, look at that gorgeous light on his face. Direct flash, off to the side. ETTL all these as well, by the way, guys. The flash decided it wanted to do as it was told. And I don't mind that either. It's not so bad. I wished I'd have just involved a little bit more of the path. But yeah, so there you go. I just thought I'd show you a couple of shots at what I've been up to today. I went out with one flash, a reflector, which I never used at all. And I just thought it was mainly to test the YN622Cs. Now, I'm going to talk at the end about, for another minute and I'm away. It's the first time I've ever used the YN622Cs on my 5D on the field. So when I got there and I put the receiver on and the transmitter, I noticed that I couldn't get high-speed sync. Now, I know a few people have asked this on my comments on my YN622C review. I couldn't get high-speed sync, and the flash was defaulting to manual. And it wouldn't do as it were bloody told. Anyway, I found out what it is. It's a bug, but it doesn't do it on the 60D, but it did it on my 5D. I had to, for some unknown reason, I had to hold the set button in for 3 seconds and take it. It sort of went into mixed mode when I put it on the 5D, but I don't know why, because, and then when I turned them off and I put them back on the camera again, when we moved location, it did it to me again. I had to hold the set button on the one that goes on the camera, so the transmitter. I know they're both transceivers, they can both do both, but what I'd do is, if that happens to you and you can't get your high-speed sync to activate, or your flash doesn't seem to, when you're pressing your ETTL button on your flash to knock it from manual to ETTL and it won't go, it just sits blinking when you try press it and it goes all daft. Try holding your set button, I think it's for 3 seconds, is it, on your camera transceiver, the one on your camera, and you'll see your green lights flash, and then try it then, and then it worked a treat. But yeah, it did do that, and I did know a few people have actually sent me comments saying how do you get it in high speed sync, and I've never had a problem until I put it on the 5D. By the way, these are all shot with the 5D. I just wanted to go out and take some portraits with my 5D really, and I think I didn't do bad because it was in the blazing sunshine. We never got no shade. It was all like blazing sun. So that's like being chucked in the middle of Sahara Desert with no trees, which usually we always head for a bit of cover. Like here is in a bit of shade. These are taking in a little bit of shade. If you look, you can see the shadow, you can see the sun here and the shade. So these, I mean, you'll see these are probably the best pictures in reality because I got them in a bit of shade. But I wanted to take some in some really crap light and see what I could do. Now, I did take some where, if you remember on the bank when I turned his face into the sun and got him to tilt his head back, his raccoon eyes went. Let me just go back here. But I don't know, I must have deleted them. They must have been crap or something. But like you see here on these, you see how he's got raccoon eyes? And that is still using the sun as well. When I turned his head to our Lightroom's left and I tilted his head back, it gets rid of these shadows in the eyes. But what you've got to then do is tell the person to close their eyes, because there's no way they'll better look, and then open them and you get a gorgeous lighting pattern. I don't know where the pictures have gone though. Maybe they were blurred, or maybe he had his eyes closed on them. I only took a couple. So remember that. But that's still using the sun and getting away with it. That's what I call getting by. But I still like it in black and white. But to me, I would have liked a little bit of fill to get rid of it. I hate these shadows. They repulse me. I just hate them. Because any photographer deep down can take a shot like that. But what I was doing is I was using the sun to illuminate him from this side, the rim light from this side, and I think it's worked quite well, to be honest. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe. My next video is going to be on kid photography. A few tips on photographing kids, and I can give very good tips on that, as I've got to, and I've been doing it a fair bit lately, and I've learned bloody boatloads by doing it.